On that topic, in our Decision 2006 report, we wrap up our in-depth look at each of the candidates running for Arkansas governor. Tonight, Jancy Sheets has our final profile, taking a look and having a discussion with independent Rod Bryan.
Tell me how you came up with this idea.
I didn't want the campaign to be about a logo, or I wanted people who participate in my campaign to be able to display their creativity too.
By all accounts, Rod Bryan is not your typical politician. He rarely wears a suit, rides a bike to work, and his campaign signs handmade on the backs of recycled cardboard.
If you see these are extremely limited edition. I think only 10 or 15 of these were made. I've been encouraging people to just make their own signs. Also, if people make their own signs, my campaign doesn't have to pay for it. And since we don't have any money, that's probably a good idea.
Did it ever occur to you, though, to start out smaller, maybe run for mayor or city alderman instead of starting with the biggest office in the state?
Well, that gets to how big some of our problems are. It's just like when you have if you have an engine and you put the wrong type of fuel in it. Our system is a diesel engine, and Mike Beebe and Asa Hudson are gasoline. I'm not diesel, I'm vegetable oil, which a diesel engine will also run on. I'm a new way to do things.
And that's exactly what Bryan's campaign is running off of, vegetable oil, gallons and gallons of it.
I wish I never had driven an automobile that ran on gasoline.
Talking about your automobile, tell me a little bit about it.
It runs on vegetable oil. Yeah, we filter it here. It goes through the blue jean pants leg. It goes into a 5-micron filter bag. When it's all filtered out, we pour straight into the car.
What was your reaction from friends and family when you said, hey, I think I'm going to run for governor?
I think everybody thought I was kidding at first, but also everybody thought I was kidding when I said I'm going to get in a band and we're going to get a major label record deal.
And Rod Bryan did just that. Following in his grandfather's footsteps, he learned to play the guitar in college.
And I think he learned how to play the bass specifically to impress me. That was your quote. That was what you said. It was the topic of music, really, on our first date. That's where we really connected, and he told me all about his childhood. I mean, he just went on, and so I learned all about Rod Bryan, and I had finished my carrot cake and hot chocolate way before he did.
And in the hour we spent with Rod and Lenny Bryan, we too learned all about this 37-year-old gubernatorial hopeful. Growing up in Bradley, Arkansas, Bryan spent the majority of his youth with his grandparents after his own parents divorced when he was 6 years old.
I was real fortunate. My grandfather had a 100-acre farm, and to this day, he's always planted things that were sustainable, and he's always cut his trees sustainably. He never did do a clear cut.
To this day, Bryan can still remember the Latin name for most trees in southwestern Arkansas, a skill he even won a trophy for as a child.
We have this amazing, green, beautiful state that people love to make a destination, but if we don't, we have to maintain it, and maintaining it, it's all of our jobs.
After high school, Bryan accepted a scholarship to Ouachita Baptist University, where he majored in mass communications. It was during college he met his wife Lenny and started a band with his brother, which went on to release 10 albums and eventually spurred Bryan to open his own music store, Anthropop.
Going back to your music, you're in a band for 14 years.
I'm still in it. Don't speak about it in past tense. It's still It's the hardest work for the least pay I've ever done in my life. Except for running for governor, maybe.
Fed up with the current two-party system,
I liken them often to Coke or Pepsi or Burger King or McDonald's.
Bryan closed down his store and hit the pavement, writing for a change. Cycling from town to town, Bryan managed to collect the 10,500 signatures needed to get him on the ballot for governor. Even the current governor helped his cause.
He actually refused at first, and he said, I can't do that because I'm supporting someone else. And I said, this isn't saying you support me. I said, sign this so my wife can vote for me if she wants to.
You have grand ideas, but you have no political experience, no legal experience. Do you think as a person you're qualified to be governor of Arkansas?
I have more legal experience than some would think. I have actually represented myself in court against attorneys and won before. If you look at the history of populist movements in Arkansas, they do well because people here, they know common sense when they hear it, and they haven't heard it in a long time. And when they hear it, it doesn't matter if it's coming from a 37-year-old bass player with no political experience, or if someone in politics suddenly decided to grow a spine and a brain on the same day and talk about, but nobody's doing that. So that's another reason why I had to get into it.
Bryan's #1 issue is protecting the environment by recycling, recruiting eco-friendly businesses, and encouraging more Arkansans to walk and ride bikes.
It'll be like we could be living in a whole different world, literally, and that's a world I'd like to live in. So.
If this November it doesn't happen, that Rod Bryan doesn't make governor, maybe in the future, any other political ambitions?
You know, a lot of people have been telling me that we're not going to vote for you this time. This one's too important. We're going to vote for you next time. We always procrastinate, and we think we've got a song on our new album, and the chorus says, "You may be all right tomorrow, but for now there's no tomorrow." And there's no tomorrow unless we define it. We define it with our actions today. So a vote for me is a vote for tomorrow.
Mr. Rod Bryan. We have more special coverage on the governor's race coming up all next week. Each of the candidates will join us Monday through Thursday for live interviews. You'll see them right here on KRK4 News at 10 o'clock.